Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I am breathing life back into a series that I did one video on and wanted to continue but didn't know how. So stay tuned and find out what that series is today. Next. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And so I'm breathing life back into my Ripped from the Headlines series. This is more of a true crime kind of series of just taking shocking headlines, delving into them, see what these cases are about. So let's just start off with, this is going to be shocking. It's going to have some details in it that are a little shocking, a little graphic, a little gruesome. So if any of those things are triggering to you, you might want to click off of this video and click on some of my more milder content located in other areas of my channel. With all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and get into this. The original article that I found was from People on People.com in their crime section, and then I wanted more details, and so I got more details from Crime Online. So I'll have both of those articles linked in the description box. But here is the title of the People's article. It is Ohio Mom Suffocated Her 3 Sons Because She Was Jealous of the Attention They Got from Husband. This was written by Chris Harris, and he published this on November the 20th of 2019, so just a couple of days ago. So we're going to be talking about this today. The mother's name is Brittany Pilkington, and this is the opening of the article. Brittany Pilkington was spared the death penalty by pleading guilty. Shocking, but let's get into what this case is about. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, and you're going to find out a lot of facts. So Court Gatterdam, probably butchered that, was Pilkington's attorney. He advised she suffered lead poisoning as a child and was sexually and physically abused for years. Gatterdam was quoted, "Sadly, she's safer and living a better life in jail than on the outside." He also called his client irreparably damaged. So let's learn a little bit about Pilkington, not to try to defend her in any way, because this is just ridiculous. I do not believe that this is a good defense at all. You do not kill your children, ever. But she did suffer years of abuse. Pilkington's defense team argued that Pilkington endured years of child trauma and sexual abuse. The attorneys claimed that due to this abuse, Pilkington suffered diminished capacity and was unable to understand the traumatic significance of what she did to her sons. Joe, Pilkington's husband, was her mother's ex-boyfriend, and it was raised that Joe had been one of the people who had sexually abused Pilkington in her childhood. Pilkington was 15 years old when she became pregnant with the couple's eldest child, a daughter. Pilkington advised that Joe started sexually abusing her at the age of 9 or 10. She stated that it started with him showing her pornography, which led to inappropriate touching, and then led to Joe starting to rape her. Pilkington was quoted as, "Way over 100 times he raped me," and stated that this was during her sworn testimony, and she said that it started in the 7th grade and even led into their marriage. Joe was arrested and charged with sexual abuse, and he eventually took a plea deal. The judge convicted him for sexual imposition for having sex with a minor. So Joe was convicted for this crime against Pilkington, but I mean, she stayed with him. It's not a defense, but let's move on. Pilkington was advised that Joe slapped, choked, and threw her to the floor. Pilkington advised that she had a fear of pools and stated that Joe threw her into a pool while she was pregnant and that he laughed as she struggled to get out of the pool. Joe and Brittany were married in 2010, went on to have 3 more children in addition to their daughter. The couple ended up with 4 children, and of course, they are now divorced. So, at the time of this story, Brittany Pilkington is 27 years old. She was scheduled for trial in early 2020, but as of November 20th, the day that this was published, she changed an earlier plea of not guilty and accepted a plea deal for involuntary manslaughter and murder for suffocating her boys in 3 separate incidents. So let's get into what happened. July 2014, so 5 years ago, Niall, an infant, was killed. Originally, the death was ruled sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS for short. Child Services did open a case to investigate the death, and throughout this case, the last child was born. And Child Services removed Gavin and the daughter, which Gavin was the son that was older than the infant that died, Niall. Her daughter is the oldest child. Gavin is the next oldest. Niall was going to be the 3rd child in line. So Niall is the one that died. And they removed Gavin and the daughter for a short period of time during the investigation. However, a Logan County family court judge by the name of Dan Brachta, probably mispronounced that, ordered the children returned. Also during this investigation, she gave birth to the 4th child, who is Noah. 1 week after the children were returned, another child dies. So on April 2015, Gavin, the 4-year-old, so the 2nd child, was killed. And then in August 2015, Noah, the 3-month-old, was also killed. Now, so that everybody's aware, Joe, the husband, was always at work when the children were killed. So Pilkington confessed after the 3rd child was found dead, and during her taped confessions, she stated she had killed her sons because their father, her husband Joe, paid more attention to the boys and not enough attention to her or their daughter. Also, during her confession, several times during her confession, Pilkington stated that she had accidentally rolled over onto Niall, which was the 1st child that was killed, and smothered him. So she is clinging to Niall's death was always accidental. The other 2 were intentional. The judge threw out the part of her confession related to Niall's death. So, initially, Pilkington pled not guilty to aggravated murder charges, and police never charged her in the first 2 sons' deaths, citing lack of evidence that a crime had ever been committed. Now, she's still claiming that Niall's death was completely accidental. They could not pin her on Gavin's death, which was the oldest son, the 2nd oldest child. But for Noah, they were trying to get her for aggravated murder. Court Gatterden, her attorney, claims her confession was coerced, and Gatterden added that Pilkington has a borderline low IQ and that it should prevent her from going on to death row. Because due to the seriousness of her crimes and the state that she's in, which is Ohio, they do have the death penalty. She could have gotten the death penalty. So experts tested Pilkington's brain and advised that it did show extensive damage due to the lead poisoning in her childhood and also due to the ongoing abuse from being with her husband Joe. A Logan County Common Pleas Court Judge Mark S. O'Connor accepted her plea deal, which, again, just to remind everybody, she did change her not guilty plea. She changed it to a plea of guilty in a plea deal, which took the death penalty off of the table, and she pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter for Nile and murder for the other 2 children. So, Mark S. O'Connor sentenced Brittany Pilkington to life in prison with the eligibility of parole in 37 years. So, she does have a chance to get out, but she has been sentenced to life in prison. So now let's look at this. She is 27 years old right now. She's not eligible for parole until she serves 37 years. So Pilkington will be 64 years old when she is eligible for parole. Eric Stewart, the Logan County prosecutor, stated that justice and closure to the tragic case and to protect the community from the defendant was all that he wanted from this case. And to tell you the truth, even though I would have supported the death penalty in this, I do believe that justice was served. At least she did get charged with all 3 in the end. Even though, as it stood at first, they couldn't charge her, at least with her confession and with the things that she said to police, and with the plea deal, she at least confessed to all 3 murders, even though she's saying Niall's death was accidental. That's the reason why they gave her involuntary manslaughter on that one. She is going to pay for all 3 of her sons. Now, you're probably going, well, what about the daughter? Okay, Pilkington's daughter is 8 years old, and she is not living with Joe. Joe does not have custody of her. She is living with an aunt and uncle. So she will be in the custody of that aunt and uncle. So at least that child does have a chance for some sort of a normal childhood. Now, when I was reading this case, my blood boiled to just the thought of killing your child because you're jealous of how much attention your husband is giving your child. Not only one child, but you killed 3 children. Even if you say, okay, fine, give her the I accidentally rolled over on my baby thing, you killed 2 other children due to the fact that your husband was giving them attention. That is just, it blows my mind. Blows my mind. I'm shocked. I don't know what else to say. So, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of Brittany Pilkington? Do you believe they should have gone lighter on her? Do you believe they should have gone harsher on her? What do you think of her defense that she killed her children because her husband was paying too much attention to them and not enough attention to her or to her daughter? And also, isn't it creepy that she wanted him to pay more attention to her daughter, knowing that he has a history of sex abuse because he abused her? Leave all that down in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Ring that bell. Let's grow this community. These are going to be shorter videos because these are just going to be ripped from the headlines. I'm going to do a little bit of extra where I can, but if not, it's just going to be the information from the article. So these are going to be little shorter videos to get you what is in the headlines so you know the most up-to-date crime information that you can, the most shocking things that are plastered all over the world. Anyway, guys, in the description box, I will have both of the articles linked so you can go and you can read it for yourself. And also, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email are all going to be linked down below. My Minds account is going to be linked down below. Again, that's a free social media website that you can earn cryptocurrency on. So go sign up, come friend me, send some cryptocurrency my way so that I can pour some money into this channel. Also at the very top of the description box is my Patreon, and if you are so inclined and if you can, please think about signing up for my Patreon so that I can pour some money into this channel and upgrade some stuff to make these videos better for you guys. With all that said, that's going to do it for me today, guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.